Hello and welcome back to the Psychic in the City podcast. I am everyone's favourite psychic in the city, Shan McGill. How are we all doing? I hope you have all had a fantastic week from the last time we spoke. And here we are with another episode, and I am so delighted to be able to bring these little episodes to you weekly. So, as you know, each week we're going to be looking at sort of different topics, different areas, all different parts of the metaphysical umbrella. So if you do have any questions or any topics in mind, please feel free to let me know in the comment section. Or if you would like to be a guest, then please do reach out to me and let me know, as I would love to have some people on to chat about whatever it is that they do. As you all know me, I am an international psychic medium. I am a master tarot reader and best-selling author of the book Tarot for Modern Times, and I run two internationally recognised, internationally accredited training programs, one for Mediumship and one for tarot. So if it sounds like you would like to talk, maybe you do what I do, maybe you do something a little bit different, maybe you're into the Akashic Records or angels or whatever it may be, then please do reach out and we can chat, as long as it falls under that sort of metaphysical umbrella, I suppose. Even at that, I'm very much into mindset. As you're aware of that, I love the mind, so you could be a mindset coach, that type of thing. Do reach out and let's have a little chat, as there is a few people that I am speaking to, and it's just really trying to nail down a time that the both of us are available to come on and chat for a little bit. So I've been working with Spirit for 10 years full time. Obviously I've been working with them much longer than that, but as my full-time career, in inverted commas, if you want to call it that, then it is definitely around the 10-year mark. My development has been from my early teens, and one of my favourite parts of my work, my most favourite things to be doing, it's to be teaching developing mediums or people that are interested in the tarot. And this is the thing that I hear quite a lot is, can I learn to be a medium? I thought you were born a medium. And while yes, that is technically true, as in fact all mediums are born just like any other human out there, it doesn't make us any sort of different. Like we don't just like form under a rock or just all of a sudden boom, there we are, a fully formed adult, knowing how to work our abilities to the letter. It is definitely something that, yes, we do need training in. And it's a thing I find a lot of people don't understand. Like, mediumship, yes, it is part of who we are. But, if we're trying to explain this to people that maybe don't understand that, yes, we may have been aware of spirit when we're growing up, and we may have got feelings and things like that, but that by no means does it lead to us sort of being able to wake up one day and all of a sudden we're able to give a full-on reading and we fully understand how the whole thing works. Like, that's just ridiculous if you ask me. Like, I don't know if that's what people actually think or not, but whenever I tell people, yeah, I've trained with this medium and that medium and I'm taking a course, and they're like, on what? I'm like, on my mediumship, or even people look a little bit baffled whenever I say that I teach, and they're like, oh right, I thought you were a medium, and I'm like, yeah, what do you think I teach? Because we gotta learn our trade, so to speak, if you look at it that way. I like to describe it in simple terminology, and it's a skilled trade like anything else. It's making use of our gifts and our abilities. But not everybody's gifts and abilities are going to be metaphysical or spiritual or paranormal or whatever word you want to use. Some people's gifts are they're really good at doing hair or nails or makeup. But, that doesn't necessarily mean that they fully understand. And I tend to reference hair quite a lot because that was something I done when I was younger, So I would have had quite a bit of a flair for doing hair growing up. But I still had to go to college to get my NVQ because I didn't know how to do things correctly. And yes, I may have ended up getting a very similar result in things that I'd done, but I had no understanding in what I was doing. I had no knowledge in what I was doing. I couldn't troubleshoot on my own because I didn't know the theory of the things that I was doing when I was training to be a hairdresser. All I knew was, yeah, I know how to put a hair colour on, and okay, well, if I put this hair like this and this bit here, then there we go, there's an up style, but I didn't know anything else to do with it. And that's very much like mediumship. I tend to explain it to people like that it's just because you might be very good at doing hair, you can't walk onto a salon floor and that's you, like you're a full-fledged hairdresser. There's obviously that study and that application of the things that you're learning, and learning the theory behind the energetic body and spirit and the different psychic faculties and stuff. Do I believe that mediumship can be taught? No, not at all. Do I believe that the theory and the understanding of mediumship can be taught? Absolutely. The mechanics, 100%. Do I believe I can teach someone how to be a medium? No. They have to come into their own power, their own gifts and their own abilities and find their own unique style of working. But teaching is so very important. I don't see myself as training mediums, although that's kind of what I'm doing. I'm more mentoring people. Whether it be tarot or my mediumship mentoring program, I'm mentoring people. I'm giving them knowledge, I'm giving them an understanding in the theory and the practice of mediumship, and then providing them with a safe space to really stretch their abilities and to really push the boundaries of what they already know to be true, and maybe help them develop a new belief system in themselves, in the spirit world, and in how mediumship works. Like, those things are very important. They're so vital to any form of mediumship development, and I do sort of pride myself on giving a lot to my students, giving them as much information as possible, because that's something that is very much needed in development, is to understand, like, yeah, you might be able to go to a circle or a workshop or a seminar and stand up and give a message, but if you don't fully understand, first of all, the miracle that is occurring while you're standing up and you're giving that message, or you don't fully understand how you're working, what one of your psychic faculties are coming into play, or how to make that connection, or how to sort of get over issues that you may be having, then what good is going to all these courses if you're not learning? That's why like committed development is so important. And it's also an ongoing thing as well, the development. It's like, there's me 10 years of working medium, and I just recently was speaking about, sitting with a group of mediums that would be working, that would, have maybe more experience than me, to be totally honest. I will probably be the novice sitting in this group of people, but it's for our own development, because we can always learn off other people so much. And it frightens me really whenever I hear these people and they're like, sure, there's nothing you can teach me, and I'm like, you know it all, do you? Alright, fair dues. If you know it all, you're definitely not the type of client I want to work with, or in the term of a mentoring capacity. If you're not going to be open to learning, or maybe understanding something from someone's point of view, or a different perspective really, then what use are you in developing? That's when the ego mind seems to kick in. But teaching and mentoring students is a very sacred thing, I find, and it's a lot of time and a lot of energy gets invested into it, and on both parts really, it has to be something where there's an agreement with the student and the teacher, so to speak, that the time, the work and the energy is going to be put in. And I see so many people that do 6 weeks and that's it, they think that they're done, but then they struggle whenever they get out into the real world, and they start working with clients, and they're given wrong information and they're not able to understand what they're doing, and that kind of loops me back around to, that is why learning to really refine your craft, hone in on your gifts and abilities, is so important, that you're provided a safe space for doing so. Sorry, I'm coughing away there, so I'm trying to mute it as best as possible. It's awful warm today and my allergies are very much getting to me. And as someone that really loves seeing people step into their own spiritual potential, their own gifts and abilities, and really seeing them be such champion ambassadors for spirit, it absolutely thrills me to see people make that committed decision to not just to commit to spirit or commit that I'm going to be a medium, but committing to themselves, to better themselves, to pushing themselves week after week, class after class, whatever it may be. I absolutely love to see that with people, and it excites me so much to see these people that grow week after week, month after month, and begin to step into their own power. It's such an amazing thing to see as a spiritual mentor. I definitely it makes my job so worth it. It really does. And I always do say to people, whenever you're embarking on this journey, like, yes, it's going to be a long journey, but look at it this way. If you're going to university, for what, 3 to 5 years, and you're walking out with a master's in one thing, and you're going to be in uni probably full time, good 30 hours a week, but mediumship development, it's probably once a week, 2 hours a week, and people expect to be a medium after a year. If you're going to master something, what is it they say? It takes 10,000 hours of practice. Like, understand that it's a two-way thing, that you need to put the work in and you need to be committed, absolutely. And that's why you find my mentoring program is so unique. First of all, it's unique because I teach it and there's only one of me. Take that whatever way you want. I know exactly the way I mean that. It's unique because it's me. It's not unique because, it's whatever. But my mentoring program, what's the word I'm looking for? It's split into two parts. One part is theory and one part is practical. So my students that sign up, they get access to a membership site where there is over 30 lessons that spread over like 7 modules, I think, 7 or 8 modules. 7 modules, and each one of those modules, a lesson becomes available for them weekly on the mentor or the membership site, for them to work away at. And it starts at us being a soul being, all the way through to how the mind works in mediumship, the psychic senses, the vibration of mediumship on a vibrational level, the power, psychic readings, guides, structure and a link, over the 8 months. There's all that theory for them to work at, to study at, to really dissect it. And they're not massive videos, like you're talking anywhere between 10 and 25 minutes a video. So it's very digestible weekly as well, very packed full of a lot of information, where I've done a lot of PowerPoints. And then the second part of that is the practical application side, where we meet on Zoom a few times a month, for our Zoom classes, where there'll be all the other students that we can interact with, where we'll practice doing one-to-one readings, psychic work, we'll do meditations, maybe mini dams within the group, so that you're learning to apply things like that. And then there's also additional tutorials that I provide, and I think also I keep updating that membership site at the minute now. I think I've got maybe a couple of extra like bonus lessons and stuff that are on it, just because I want people to fully understand everything, while they're training with me over that 8-month period. And I think this type of training is so unique, and so it hits the mark due to training that I've had before, consistent, shall we say, circle work, where it's been you're sitting in a group of people and it's okay, stand up, give a link, round of applause, well done, sit down, where there's not really an awful lot of the maybe practical side. And don't get me wrong, I have had tutors that have been phenomenal in my time, although I've been mostly self-developed, but I'm not saying everyone I sat with was like that, but the majority of them were. But this way there's the consistent theoretical learning of it, which is very much something that needs needs to be consistent, especially if you're new, like either brand new or embarking, or you've been on your journey a little while. Although, to be totally honest, people have came through my mentoring program that have been in the metaphysical field 20 odd years, and they still say that there's no form of training like that out there that they've had with me. The information's there, so I will leave information on that. I've just realised I've sat here advertising myself for a couple of minutes there. I will leave a link in the description if you want more information on the mentoring program. It's amazing. It's my baby, like it really is. That and that in my book, they're the loves of my life, But back to the teaching thing. No, I don't believe people can be taught to be a medium. Not at all. Do I believe that people can be taught the theory? Yes. Do I believe people need a safe place to nurture their gifts, their abilities? 100%. And it's the place with the sitting consistently with other people, whether it be in circle, in person, or on an online group. You're interacting with other people, you're making that commitment, this is my time to work with spirit. Absolutely. Now, do I believe that your development should be totally left to, that sort of weekly circle? Absolutely not. No, that is not enough in any way, shape or form. You definitely need to build that discipline, that sort of structure of sitting with your own spirit on a regular basis. Obviously, I would like it daily, but every other day is what I recommend my students that are first coming to me, and then we build up the practice so that you're sitting and you're getting used to connecting with your own soul. You're blending with your own soul, so that once you're blending with that soul of the spirit person, that the other spirit that isn't you, you'll notice things much stronger because you've really refined sitting with your own soul, sitting in your own power, so to speak. And I know, again, that's something that I've experienced not very much of in the terms of teaching, where I've been on seminars and people really want to let's give them a cracker meditation, so let's invite in the guides and this and that, because you're really feeling those external things sitting with a group of other people so intensely, which is great. Yes, we should blend with our guides at certain points, but in the beginning stages we really need to become self-aware. We need to be aware that we are a soul having a human experience, and the more that we can tap into our own soul in the beginning stages, I find it only heightens our own senses as we go along. Again, that's why my mentorship is laid out exactly the way that it is, because that's what we start at. And so it only heightens the senses. It only makes you more aware of spirit whenever you are getting to that point to bringing those spirit people through, and it just makes your work better. It really does. So trust me on that one. If you can take anything away from this podcast this week, it is sit with your own soul a couple of times a week. I'm pretty sure I've meditations on that available somewhere. So sit with your own soul. Know that sitting with your own soul is going to heighten and change so much things in your own life anyway. So yeah, I think it made sense. I'm not too sure. I wasn't really paying attention because, to be honest with you, it's in the high 20 degrees here in Belfast, and I've had to turn my fan off in the Psychic in the City headquarters because my microphone's a Blue Yeti and it picks up absolutely everything. But yes, guys, there'll be links to my social in the comments or the description to the mentorship. Thank you so much for coming and listening. And yeah, just have a good week. Absolutely. Have a good week. Bye.